This is Joseph McCaleb. I'm the conductor for this journey across the 3 digital media projects involved in our course, Good Stories, Teaching Narratives for Peace and Justice. As the syllabus indicates, this final production, Digital Media Project 3, is to be from 3 to 5 minutes, and it advances the themes of peace and/or justice, culminating and synthesizing the work of our course. It builds from the 2 previous digital media projects. From Digital Media Project 1, it extends the hits that are already located in the production. These reflect the universal level because the images resonate with the hit that you've picked up. It also extends from Digital Media Project 2. In number 2, we amplified those hits into the local level, which took them into our social world. In this 3rd project, we'll go further into the individual, which takes it into our personal worlds. In doing this, it amps up the power of the hits and creates a story. The story makes the particular level more believable. In a way, this is make-believe coming into action. To build this story, we want to involve the 3 elements of story that we've talked about: goal or destiny, the guide for that journey, and the obstacles that we go through that build our character. These levels and images are stored in our memory and made accessible through our memories. In class, we explored a story from China. It was about the province Kyoyo, far in the upper reaches of the Yellow River, where there was once a region noted for devotion. But the devotion was not for the 3 treasures. Instead, it was for racing on swift horses and shooting arrows from their bows. And to this the Bodhisattva attended. Remember, the soul makes a bridge of love so that one might cross over to the shore of Bodhi. O Avalokitesvara, you are the most compassionate, you are the most beneficent. So it was in old China. The Buddha, his law and his order were disdained, but the merciful Bodhisattva showered compassionate benevolence upon them and led them in the following way to the Dharma. In class, we continued that story, but you'll have to remember it in order to bring it into your final production. In reflecting upon that story, remember what Joseph Campbell said as we opened, where the Bodhisattva showered compassionate benevolence leading to the Dharma. It's important because Dharma can be seen as phenomenon, and this links us to this particular level, which is crucial to the development of our 3rd and final digital media project. It also connects with the concept we have worked with extensively from Boyd's text. That's the concept of reciprocal altruism, and this also links to the central concern for advancing peace and justice. Our Dharma in this course concerns our capacity for cooperation. Boyd's key theme, there's one quotation: besides an ability to track individuals, reciprocal altruism requires an awareness of who does not repay and a readiness to punish or to withhold cooperation from the non-cooperators. Do this through emotions such as trust, gratitude, guilt, suspicion, and indignation. We will be asking how your story includes consequences for violation of the grounds of extending cooperation. As Boyd points out, this relates to the principle of hospitality of Xenia, which is in the Odyssey. So we'd want to ask how punishment might be part of your story, as well as the story of the Odyssey, and how the presence or absence of it matches up with Boyd's explanation around the concept of punishment. So when is punishment necessary? How is it justified in the Odyssey? What's the role of ritual sacrifice, the role of religion? And why is the ending of the Odyssey both right and unsatisfying? In part 5 of Boyd's book, origin of stories. He shifts to the work of Dr. Seuss and to the particular book, Horton Hears a Who. We've also reviewed this in class. While Boyd's review of the Odyssey was for philology, that is, the evolutionary predecessors of story, the study of the Horton is for ontogeny. When does the adaptation develop, and how does it change in the individual? In this work with development, the study of Horton is modeling what you will do in your final project, because your project shows the development of yourself as you move into your destiny. This is the structure of the ontogeny, chapter 20 through 23, as he works in these 4 levels of explanation. In Journal 10, which was also our Journal 12, we filled in a chart and we extended that chart in Journal 13. Here's a sample of Journal 10-12. As we worked with the archetypal level, the story we looked at just now was Kuan Yin. The goal was to marry the maiden. The guide was Kuan Yin. And the obstacle, as you will recall, involved memorizing, explaining, and then actualizing the sutras of the Bodhisattva. When we extend that chart, the applications of the chart, we would add the local level, and there's some examples of how that could be done, and then we would bring in our individual level. We did this in Journal 10-12 across several different stories. And then from the entire chart, we selected one compelling place in the chart and extended it in Journal 13. Here's the full set of steps that you could use to develop your final project. As we just went over, you fill in the concept map of the different stories and levels, and then you select the most compelling. This might be a particular level, and then we extend that one, writing text to go with it. And then in step 5, we produce additional images and write words about those. In step 8, along the way, we're adding the other narrative elements. For example, if your first image is about destiny, which it probably would be, you would need to add the development showing what obstacles and guides could be involved. I encourage you to use the stories for images and examples of the obstacles and guides that you would bring into your final project. When you've developed these images, you have a nice collection and probably some text to go with it. This collection then becomes a storyboard in which you will be able to add any images or text that's needed to complete the story. And one way of building this is in PowerPoint. Once you have the images ready and the text ready, as you know, we put them into the production program we're using and use the capacity that is there, putting text on the screen, adding the Ken Burns effect, putting musical background, and so on. So that's it. That's the journey from Digital Media Project 1 through number 2 and into number 3, and we'll end up with wonderful stories that extend our work of peace and justice. Thank you.